Good morning, I'm JK from the Ministry of Otaku. I hope you're doing okay in this increasingly dystopian and catastrophic world. The 2020 Koran-chan panic created a collapse in the anime convention and fan convention scene, with many conventions cancelled or postponed, or turned into joyless virtual conventions, which are nothing more than glorified live streams in my opinion. And I had no interest in these things at all, and as soon as I watched the Otaku one, I decided not to watch any virtual con. It's just boring, it's just joyless, it just reminds me of things I have not enjoyed in over the last 15 months. Now, one of the conventions that got cancelled and turned to a joyless virtual con was New York Comic Con. I visited New York Comic Con on October, around either September, was it September? I think it was September or October 2019, don't remember the month. Now, I've attended Baltimore Comic Con and Awesome Con, both Comic Cons in Baltimore, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. previously, but I always wanted to attend New York Comic Con for years. In 2019, I had that opportunity and took it. I bought my 2020 travel hat, my Psychopath police jacket, my military book bag, my camera and camcorder. I got on a midnight megabus from Union Station in DC to New York City. Had my breakfast at Cafe R near Penn Station, and as soon as dawn broke out, I made my way to the Jarvis Convention Center through the New York City subway system. Wonderful days. And I just spent the whole day checking out the convention, the Artist Alley section, and the dealer's room section. And there were so many booths of dealers offering comics, goods, merchandise from across the East Coast. Booths showing the latest and upcoming movies and TV shows and comics. And of course the cosplayers, which there was plenty of cosplayers I have taken pictures of. And I have not released those photos to the public for over a year. I could only attend Sunday, the Sunday of the con, since the Saturday badges were already all sold out months ago, and my choice was between Sunday or Thursday, so I chose Sunday, but it still was a great experience. I must say that in the main dealers hall was so crowded that it made the crowds of cosplayers and attendees during Katsucon in the Gaylord National Atrium look like an orderly procession. My only regret was me not getting the 28-inch Rick Sanchez beanbag plush, which I got later from eBay in around March or April in 2020. This is the beanbag plush I'm talking about. Cute, isn't it? Even though he has a serious face. And yes, actually I sleep with him. I got a huge plush pile of plushies and Pokemon and huge and bear and actually plush animals that I sleep with. But please don't call me a furry. Please don't. Anyway, you can see my film on my experience of New York Comic Con in 2019 on this channel with no commentary, called New York Comic Con 2019, the documentary, also known as New York Comic Con 2019, the one-day stand. I filmed it in mostly 4K with some elements in high definition and some through my Ion Pro headcam. It was my first Otaku-documentary, and I was hoping to create more of them as years went by. I had plans to buy a Friday and Saturday pass for 2020, but then Koran-chan happened, the lockdowns occurred, and New York Comic Con had a virtual con that no one who actually cares about conventions watched. Because if you want a virtual convention, there's always YouTube content creators that have more views and subscribers than any of the anime cons or Comic Cons. So I found out on this website that New York Comic Con will be having an in-person con this year. And it had this little byline. It will be a little different this year. So you already know how this will go. From Time Out magazine, New York Comic Con will be held in person this year. It's back, but it'll look a bit different. You already know how this all is going to turn out. Dust off your costumes, comic fans. New York Comic Con is back in October with in-person events. It's not good. Now that's good news until you scroll down the article. It's been too long since New Yorkers got to dress up and have for a convention. More like a year or two. Last year Comic Con was online only, which nobody watched. While I gave fans something to enjoy, ha ha ha, no, nobody actually watched. There's not like me with other cosplayers and getting out over panels, incredible costumes, and merch. Those are the 3 reasons why anyone will go to a convention. Anime convention, Comic Con, whatever. It's about panels, costumes, and merch. And spontaneous events. Spontaneous photo shoots. Spontaneous events that occur between cosplayers and attendees. Unexpected things happen. As a photographer, I cover these things. I cover the atmosphere. I cover the fun and excitement. I cover the cosplayers, the merchandisers, the dealers hall. I basically cover the atmosphere of the convention. On Friday, New York Comic Con officially announced the show will be coming to the Jarvis Center October 7th through 10th at limited capacity. We got vaccines. Why are you having limited capacity? We got vaccines. Why are you doing this? This means fewer bears and small audiences at panels, so bears should sell even faster this year. That's good, because I'm not bothering attending this farce. New York Comic Con is currently working with the Jarvis Center to determine how many people are permitted in the building every day and at a given time. How about we plan for vaccines? The vaccines are already here. Why are you doing this? Changes you can count on if you get in include require face masks, not just your superhero mask. Seriously? Even if you got a superhero mask, you still have to wear a mask behind that superhero mask? That is incredibly stupid. Temperature screens, increase sanitation, clean and enforce physical distancing throughout the event. Hygiene fear. So even if you get vaccinated, you get subjected to this bullshit. Including temperature screens that the CDC actually explicitly told the public that it's worthless. NYCC will also outlaw all handshakes, high fives, and hugs. For real. We're all going to get very smooth and cool looking at either the elbow bump or hell, high fives. Please start practicing now. How about I don't? And how about I skip out? Again, that was written by Christina Rogers, the U.S. comic portfolio director of Repop, NYC's producer. Seriously, how about no? And how about I skip out? People who are already vaccinated don't want this crap. They want back to normal. More information about how photo arts and panels will work will come out later on, but the fact is that it still happen is hopeful. No. Seriously? They will not, with enforced physical distancing, that means these spontaneous photo shoots won't happen. It's bullshit. The vaccines are here. Why are they doing this? This is all bullshit virtue signaling. Of course, like many events happening nowadays, no one cares about virtual cons, sweetie. No one cares. There'll be a virtual component, read glorified live stream for those who don't get badges or do not risk attending the event. NYCC events will be also be streamed at findthemetaverse.com and social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Seriously? No, they're not really interested in virtual cons. They want a back to normal. Now, if this convention is at full capacity, if it's back to normal completely, I have no objection to a live stream version of the event for those of you who cannot get in on a Saturday or Friday. Our goal remains the same, bringing together our fan communities to celebrate the best pop culture has to offer, Roger said. Seriously, from a corpo? In this dystopian, with a dystopian convention? How about we don't? What they're going to do is that they're going to say to themselves, I'm not going to bother visiting the event. I'm not going to bother visiting the event. There's going to be people that are not going to bother going to the event because they're so scared about the feel porn. But the people who are hungry to go to any convention, they want a convention that is back to normal. Not this dystopian garbage. The answer is no. We have vaccines available. And they're doing all of this to virtue signal. To virtue signal to a particular type of audience, which I'll talk about later in this video. I stated my stance on these hygiene fear measures on April. I will not repeat myself again. Please feel free to view the videos I posted up on this month of April 2021. With vaccines already here, there is no need for this bullshit, and it will cost them more money and lack of revenue from badges than they would to implement them. What they should be doing is making the convention bigger and better to make up for the lost time. Why not add a Wednesday? Make it a whole week. Make the convention a whole week, so that you have more people to attend. I mean, the people are going to attend anyway if you make it a whole week. Oh, and one more thing that they forgot in this article. They're going to probably ask for proof of vaccinations and the proof of test by you downloading this vaccine passport known as the Essential Pass. Shit like this is basically a message that if you are vaccinated, you are still subjected to this hygiene field garbage for none other but virtue signaling and liability. And instead of resorting to this bullshit, why can't they just have a liability notice when you walk in or when you buy a badge? Basically telling you that there is a certain risk attending these conventions. And by reading this, you know that you know about this risk. That you cannot be liable if you are sick. Because people will get sick, not from Corona-chan, but from other viruses and from other flus during the New York Comic Con. And New York Comic Con is held during flu season, and people get their regular flu vaccinations. I've been attending anime cons during flu season, and even though I got sick a couple of times, my body fought off the flu because I was either eating healthy, I'm relatively thin, I'm relatively healthy, and I usually eat healthy. I usually eat at least a balanced meal every day of the con. The worst thing is that these people in nerd culture actually want this. There's no pushback from people in nerd culture. Nerd culture wants this. People who are willing to attend any convention, regardless of fear, wants this, so they can complain later when they have a miserable time. I will not be going to New York Comic Con this year. You know what would be more enjoyable? Going to Florida or Texas, where conventions are literally begging people to come in, spend your money, stay a while. They'll welcome anyone that has been starving for a convention experience with open arms, and they'll not treat you like a walking biohazard. They will spend their money, these people like me, will spend their money at any convention that decides to drop all restrictions, like in Florida, Texas, Georgia, or, God forbid, South Dakota. Or someone that can organize a convention that will be 5 days with rock-bottom hotel prices. And then the game is over, and the virtual signaling conventions will wake up. What is worse, New York Comic Con is operated and /produced by ReedPop, which also produces AwesomeCon and NY and MANY, MA New York, MA New York City. That's like MANYC, I don't remember. Yeah, MA New York City, which will implement the same measures over these cons. I will not attend any convention, including MANYC or any anime con, until they drop these measures entirely, and actually start measures to attract people to these cons after a year or two of a total absence. But they won't, and when the failure does happen, they will blame Corona-chan or the consumer, not their overboard hygiene measures. They will also blame not having enough money, or worse, not having security fear. So because they're too ideologically committed to this virtue signaling, this hygiene fear, not to listen until the money is out. People are going to be too scared to come in until 2022 because of the chronic fear porn from mainstream media and from social media, but a huge group that will attend to any convention will not bother come to do overboard hygiene fear. Consumers need to send a very loud and clear message that these events will be unacceptable. The people who will support this Corona circus will be the same type of people that will have the mentality of don't ask questions, just consume part, and then get excited for next year's part. I call them pay pigs for big media corpos and Hollywood. Seriously, if you can, go to a fan convention or anime convention that will not treat you like a walking biohazard and that are willing to go back to normal or as close to normal as possible. Lockdowns decimated the anime convention and fan convention scene, and virtue signaling and hygiene fear will kill it. That's all I gotta say about this, folks. Please subscribe if you want more videos like this, ring the doorbell for notifications, leave a comment, like, and share, and visit my social media links. I'll see you in the next video. Try to take care of yourselves, will you?